What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Justin, not in North Carolina. I'm out here in Roscoe, Illinois, on the road for another edition of Cream City Curveball.
And Piper, I'm not in Indonesia. I'm here in the good land of MKE.
Hey, the best land ever, man. And we're getting ready to cross that border in a little bit, Pipe. I was telling you before we got on the air, man, getting ready to go see the Beloit Skycarp against the Wisconsin first place Timber Rattlers. But real quick, shout out to my Uncle Duff and In Your Face Learning for allowing us to utilize their studio tonight to bring you an edition of Cream City Curveball. And we're pumped up tonight. So we're gonna start this out the only way we can do best. It's with your main man Justin in North Carolina, normally eating some crow. So we'll get right to it. Dustin May's first start. Pipe bombs are more of a fan of Dustin May than I am. I don't like him. I never liked him. I gotta like him now because he's a Brewer. I thought he pitched well. He did enough to get a win. Was it outstanding Cy Young material? No. Was it Alexander Frias material with a grand slam to Iowa? And I'm sure they were playing in Missouri. No. Was it Ragsdale home run worthy? No. But he got a win. So Pipe, what do you see before I eat this crow?
Well, to say that it wasn't Frias or Ragsdale is dumb because one did it in the majors and one did it in the little boy leagues. So, whatever, you could say whatever you want with that. I hope you really, honestly, I hope you drive yourself crazy following Frias and Rags, but all over throughout their minor league career and all that kind of crap. It's Dustin May time, and it's time to move on and get behind the beloved here. He looked great, and was it Cy Young worthy? No. Do we need him to be Cy Young? No. We just need him to be him. And 6 innings, 2 runs, quality start. Brewers get the win, 5-2. That's great, man. He looked good. So yeah, was it perfect? No, but there's a lot of positives there.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave all the positives to you, man. He won the baseball game. That's all that mattered. You know, one thing about Cream City Curveball, I'm going to completely switch topics because I was absolutely wrong on this topic, and I have nothing else to add on it other than I was wrong. Unless you got something else on Dustin Bay.
No, man, we could cruise right through you being wrong as fast as possible for you.
Hey, listen. One thing about me though, he is a Milwaukee Brewer. I was telling you this when we talked, Pipe. I had to root for Grayson Allen. I rooted for Jim McMahon. I rooted for Stephen Michael when they became Green Bay Packers. If there was a bum from the University of Minnesota that wanted to transfer to Wisconsin, I root for him. But we got to take a pause in the programming, man. We'll get back to this Dustin May stuff because Tommy Wirtz came on our program, right? And I told this dude, I said and I told him on the post game, right? I said if Jake Bowers does X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna go to the Milwaukee Brewers pro shop and I'm gonna buy it. So Pipe, you tell me if you can see me, but Tommy, I don't know if you can see me, but I got the Jake Bowers joint on. I'm gonna tell you something, Pipe. You might be the smartest guy in the world. Here's why you're the smartest guy in the world. So I ordered this joint from the Milwaukee Brewers clubhouse. We're not gonna talk about what I paid because there may be people that listen that could get us in trouble. So I paid a grip. You know where the jersey sale was made? Same
Where is that?
place. Same place DH Gate comes from. What are we doing? I paid all this bread and I could have got the same thing. What you pay with shipping, bro?
Yeah, usually under $30.
Oh my God. $30 wasn't even the shipping. Shout out to the Brewers team store though. They got some great stuff over there. Go to Milwaukee Brewers team store. Check them out. I really like those character shirts of Abner Uribe, Wild Bill, who's been struggling. We're gonna get to that too. Mizorowski. There's some really cool homage stuff at the pro shop. I'm sure it's more than what Pipe would pay for shipping or anything. But we'll leave that alone, man. But let me keep it a buck real quick though. So I wasn't a fan of Dustin May because of who we had to give up. If we originally had to give up Coleman, Crow, and said pitcher, I forget the dude's name, I was super happy. But I'm gonna be happy to be wrong. We've had a lot of disagreements, and if you want to know how I feel about the illustrious Jeff Orlowski, captain of the Skis, captain of the Polacks, Mr. Polish himself. We're brothers from another mother. But when it comes to this Dustin May stuff, we're step brothers because we're never going to see eye to eye on this.
Yeah, that's all right, man. There's my side and there's the wrong side. So, you're sometimes, a lot of times, you're happy to be on the wrong side of stuff. And that's cool, man. That's what makes it fun. But, just know, and you know that I'm always right. Just don't ask my wife because she thinks it's the opposite.
We're never going to trust your opinions because you don't wear pink shirts and you don't get pedicures. I don't get manicures because I'm not a Chicago Bears quarterback. Cream City Chalk Talk coming up, by the way, really soon, man. I think we got some good stuff to talk about from family night. We're not going to derail it too much. So we got to Dustin May. Dustin May was absolutely amazing. He did his thing. Cannot no hate in my Kool-Aid round here. Round here. But let's get to Drone and that start the other night, man. Talk about Pat Murphy being absolutely outmanaged by I don't even know who the Minnesota Twins manager is. I don't think he knows who he is. But Brewers start out last night 4-0, end up losing this ball game 8-6. What's your boy's name? The Italian boy by way of Venezuela?
Senzatella?
Yeah, him. I didn't pitch a fit about those prospects, did I, my boy? So, but he just we were there, Pipe. We were right there at the finish line, and then Boyd pissed down his legs, and we gives up the lead. 8-6. Your Milwaukee Brewers lose. Shane Drone, terrible start last night, but I'm probably going to be less critical of him than I am against Dustin May, and the reason why he's okay to have a bad start because we've seen him be him. Am I wrong?
No, it was a terrible start for Drone last night, and sometimes those things are going to happen. As much as we don't want them to, and we want them to, to pitch like the freaking superstar every single time out. It's not going to happen. He got lit up. It hurts because it's against Minnesota. Now, I hate it when I turn on or listen to sports radio around here and people try to sit there and say that there's a rivalry between the Twins and the Brewers. You got to be older than
Border
dirt.
battle.
You got to be older than dirt, aka my age, to even remember when the Brewers and Twins were both in the American League and played each other all the time. So 95% of the fan base don't remember that. And the ones that do, it's been so damn long that, the Minnesota Twins are just a freaking afterthought now. The only reason we hate Minnesota is because we hate the Vikings. Unless you live right across the border to that terrible state over there, then I could see there being a little bit of juice. But man, there ain't no juice with this. And I sat there and after this disappointing game, real quick, um, I was listening to the post game show last night with Tim Allen and Sparky, and Harley called in and he said that he hates interleague games in August and September, and I do too. Front load all that shit. If you're gonna sit there, I understand why baseball they want everybody to play everybody. So, little Johnny in Milwaukee gets to see Aaron Judge every 2 years. Whoop de doo. We get to see, whoever you want from whatever crappy team you don't care about for, once every 2 years. Great. Who cares? But front load all that shit because now it's time. It's like, first of all, every game matters and the pennant race starts game one. And I truly believe that. And I want to win them all. But, it's the beginning of August, man. We're a week in and there's no juice with Minnesota, Milwaukee. There just isn't. And so, I thought that that was a great point. The fact that you said that we were in this game and had a chance to close it out when Sensatella blew it up, that was in the sixth inning. There was a whole lot of time left and a whole lot of chances left. He gave up 2 runs. He didn't give up 100. He gave up 2. All right. And so did he look good? No, man. He got the 2 outs and then he gave up a bunch of hits in a row, double, double, single. It happened really quick. It happened in the blink of an eye. I love that guy. I think he's he's going to a great pickup. He's going to help us huge. I think he's going to be great getting into the playoffs and then in the playoffs. I really like him. And so, I'm happy that we got him. Yeah, he ran into some tough stuff yesterday, but it is what it is. Drone shouldn't have gave up freaking 6 Ernies. So I'm not blaming Senzatella for giving up 2 when Drone gave up 6. And the Brewers had a ton of chances and were horrible with our ISP yet again.
Counselor, can I rephrase my statement?
Yeah, say whatever you want.
All right, so let's blame it on the entire pitching staff then, since you don't want to blame it on the Italian by way of Venezuela. Even though he was absolutely his was the most horrific because I didn't say we had a chance to win the game, bro. I said we had just fought back to tie it up, and then he peed down his leg and let it go. Maybe I said that before. A lot of times, the Mrs. Skurlock always tells me I say a lot of stuff that I think that I say that I did. But either way it goes, he gave up the most important runs. But you're absolutely right, Shane Drone. We're up 4-0, and he pees down his leg 4 runs, and then gives up another two to spot you at it. And you're 1,000% right about RISP though. Let's talk about that for a second. This team, second, third, bases loaded, first and third, first and second, whatever the case may be, we're not driving these dudes in. Tim alluded to it last night on the post game that it seems that every time another team is facing us, they get a 3-run double, and we get a Garrett Mitchell. We're going to beat out the blood sugar to get to first base. RBI. When is it going to turn in our favor? Yes, but more importantly, Christian Yelich, Pat Murphy's favorite, William Contreras, Pat Murphy's other favorite. Dog, I'm tired of the pop-ups. I'm tired of the 4-3. Christian Yelich had a marvelous night the last game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then you can hear the yelling chants on the radio. You can hear him on the TV broadcast. And he comes up. He's Mr. 4-3 again. What we doing here, bro?
Yeah, he looks completely lost. It's sad, obviously we all remember the glory days with him. And Murphy was just redonkulous when he
Who?
said Murphy
Oh,
when he
okay.
said that fans don't, what? Oh, you're booing Christian Yelich. You don't remember what he did in 2018. Yeah, Pat, we remember, but now he sucks. And the fact that you continue to force feed him at the top of the lineup, or okay, so one game you supposedly dropped him to seventh, and then Bowers went out, so then he was fifth. Yesterday, I think he was sixth, but
Mm-hmm.
so he's never batted lower than six. He belongs seven or eight because he's just killing the offense. Looks terrible. Yes, he had two hits against Pittsburgh, but he also struck out and stuff like that. Looked kind of stupid a couple times in that game as well. So he's got to get going in the right direction here. It's sad to see. It's sad to see when you see dudes who were really really good who now are not as good, and especially when they make the money about Christian Yelich. Do I feel bad for him? Hell no. He could wipe his tears with his money. But I thought it was stupid that Murphy's telling the fans to get behind him. I thought it was telling and not in a good way when of course, after that last game against Pittsburgh, when he had a couple hits, and for the first time since Jesus was a baby, he drove in a freaking run. And then all of a sudden, there's Christian Yelich with the media all around him, standing at his locker. Oh, yeah, I heard the support tonight, guys. Yeah, it was great to hear, everybody getting behind me. It's been a real rough couple months, but it was nice to have the fan support tonight. Really? You're that soft, that sensitive. Come on, man. Wipe your tears with $100 bills, you rich bastard, and hit the freaking ball. This team needs you. It needs your offense. You don't provide anything else. Maybe you're a good leader in the clubhouse, but you definitely took a page out of Ryan Braun's playbook because you never talk to the media unless you have a good game. Where are you when you're one out of your last 26? You're not man enough to stand there and say, listen, man, I really suck lately and I'm trying to find it and I'm doing my best, working hard, trying to get this right. You just disappear and don't say nothing. I think that's soft. I think it's weak. And before I get in any more trouble, I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah, I mean, we have a word for that on the Cream City crossover. We call that front running, and that definitely seems like what brother Christian is doing. But I mean, you said it the other day, man. We're only as good as what Christian Yelich does for this baseball team. So, what I would like to see, and you mentioned this a few episodes ago, I would like to see Christian go down with an IL stint, and it's not a real IL stint. We know he's not hurt, but just go down, get yourself right, relax for a couple days, go see your girlfriend, go see your wife, go see your kids, whatever you may have, or all of them, all three of them, right? And come back. because you're not it right now, and it's an extreme struggle to watch a guy. It makes me really respect a guy like Manny Ramirez. I feel like Manny Ramirez was a somewhat decent baseball player all the way until he got done for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but he seemed to find a way to get a hit and stuff like that. But let's keep it right here where you're at for a second, because you mentioned somebody that's why we're stepbrothers now. You mentioned somebody. What was that dude's name you mentioned? Start with a with a P, end with a
Yeah, Pat
E.
Murphy.
Yeah, let's get
Patrick,
to
manager of the year, two-time running Murphy. I mentioned him, yep.
Patrick, manager of the year, two-time Murphy, potentially three times because he's manager of the year because the national media keeps selling us short and he keeps over delivering. Shout out to Sparky Pfeiffer with that take, and I 1,000% agree with it. But let's talk about that pipe because we got your boy Blake Perkins just out of town. We got a love fest for William Contreras. We got a love fest for Christian Yelich. Like, if Contreras is in this much of a skid right now, why isn't Murphy sitting him for Gary Sanchez, who, by the way, the last time he played, he hit a shot. What do you call that bar in left field? It ain't TGI Fridays no more. What do we call it?
I don't know, man. That thing's changed names so many goddamn times. I don't remember no more.
Yeah, but whatever that restaurant is called in AmFam Field, Gary Sanchez hit one above it. Um, Then you have Joey Ortiz, who is hitting the cover off the baseball. He hasn't seen the field since that. Is he injured? Is he hurt? What do we have going on here? So all I'm saying is I am extremely worried about Pat Murphy as a manager with this Milwaukee Brewers baseball team going forward. And I don't know what's gonna happen here. I'm and I know I'm pretty. It's Lightning Kugel's Barrel Yard, by the way. Lightning Kugel's Barrel Yard. Shout out to Lightning Kugels. We'll take your sponsorship, by the way. I'm nervous, man. And here's why I'm nervous. I think Pat Murphy's a good leader, a great leader during a regular season. But this power of friendship, I think he's bought into it too much. And this is what's going to cost the Milwaukee Brewers. And I love Tim Allen. And and you busted my chops about this. Normally I'm the positive guy. Normally when it's raining, what do you say? Raining cats and dogs. I'm like, well, it's okay because at least we'll catch a couple kittens and they'll get to the shelter and they'll be okay. Right now, I'm peeing on your parade. I'm worried about Pat Murphy. I'm worried about Chris Hook. I'm worried about Jim Henderson. I'm worried about Daniel Vogelbach, next hitting coach here. And this is going to prelude to the next topic, too. The Chicago Cubs, they're right behind us. You can see them in every mirror possible. What do you feel?
Really?
Really?
Okay. You're worried about Pat Murphy, two-time reigning manager of the year, still manager of the year because he's going to win it for a third time this after this season. Uh, that's nonsensical. Yes, Murphy became the cooler when it came to Joey Ortiz. The fact that you sit there and are up in arms because you're not getting more bats for Joey Ortiz is laughable. And I agree. Ortiz should be getting some at bats. See how I'm using his name now? Because he's earned it. Because he got hot. He got some hits. He deserves some time. Pat Murphy, aka he's turned into the cooler, has been sitting him on the bench. I don't know if Ortiz pissed in his Cheerios, did whatever. It seems like he's kind of in the Murphy doghouse for whatever reason, and we're getting we're getting force fed a whole lot of Alexander Hamilton here. Now, with mixed results, Hamilton, no one, people expect even less out of him than they do little Joey. So, but to sit there and say that you're worried about Pat Murphy, okay, with Contreras, what the hell is Murphy supposed to do? That is your freaking leader on the field and in the clubhouse. No one works harder. No one is better than Contreras for the last handful of years. There hasn't been a better player on the team. So, okay, why? What now? This year, you maybe want to say Miz. Miz don't play every day. You maybe want to say Bowers because he's got all the home runs and stuff. Bowers been hurt. Contreras shows up every day, man. He's ready to go. He played all half of last season with a broken freaking hand. So, Contreras he's fighting it right now. He's got some stuff he's got to get through to get back on track. But does anybody doubt that in the blink of an eye, all of a sudden, Wild Bill is going to run off a string of 10 hits in 14, 15 at bats. Hell no, man. He's going to turn it around. He's going to turn it around quick, and he's going to be continue to be what he has been, which is dominant. He's freaking awesome. But to sit there and say you're worried about Murphy and stuff, come on, man. You turned into Mr. Negative. I don't know what happened to you. You stopped taking your medication or something, but whoo,
We take
that's a bad take, homie.
we take the same medication, brother. Hey, look. So I'm saying I'm nervous about Pat Murphy because, like I said, Pat Murphy's great. He's a prom queen until he's a prom fiend, and I'm seeing a lot more of that fiend behavior than queen behavior. Over your last 10 games, right now, the Milwaukee Brewers are 6-4, good record. But this is the thing that is killing me, Pipe. We're batting 225 as a team. 36 total runs. We're scratching out wins. And I know we're first place, best record, blah, blah, blah. That's great. But you got a dude sitting over there in LA. And I know what you're about to say. It's not the same. Okay, it's not the same. But Dave Roberts is a dude that wears sunglasses at nighttime. He's cool. He has aura. He wins. Murphy's not bringing that to us in October yet. And until he can prove me right, and let's clear the air with one thing too. I am the biggest Pat Murphy fan. Jersey from the Brewers team store, custom joint, T-shirt, power pancake shirt. Was it pancakes? Is that what it was?
Pocket
Eh,
pancakes, yeah.
If Murphy's selling it, I'm buying it. But I think we've talked about it this before, Pipe. My goals are bigger than just selling it now. We got to see a World Series in Milwaukee. I don't care what, in all these phrases, undaunted, power fringent, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it, man. I am severely worried about Pat Murphy, man. I think that he may be good for a team that is okay with winning divisions. But when do we get to just divisions and when do we get to a World Series crown?
It's weird because I don't remember you saying this year 4, year 5, year 6 through council of not winning the World Series. But now in year 3 of Pat Murphy, Chicken Little reaction here. The sky is falling because he's 0 for 2 in winning World Series. What the hell are we talking about? The dude has had 2 freaking chances. That's it. He's won back-to-back Manager of the Year, and it was a nice thing. It sounded good when Sparky said it on the post-game show yesterday. It's not because the national media goes in and has real crappy expectations for us every freaking year. It's because people who know ball can see that he's doing a hell of a lot more with less than anybody else out there. He did it because he deserved it, not because the freaking USA Today idiots that sit there and come out with their preseason rankings said the Brewers were going to go 500. That has nothing to freaking do with it. And with the way that you're talking here and trying to grade Pat Murphy on this crazy ass curve, so in your mind, Dave Roberts is the greatest baseball manager ever, or at least nowadays. Well, you give me that freaking roster, and I could win some damn titles too. Was Phil Jackson the best coach in the NBA? Hell no, he wasn't. You give me Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman. I'll win titles too. You give me Kobe, Shaq, and Robert Ory. I'll win titles too. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Pat Murphy's had 2 freaking chances. So I want to sit there and, you want your career judged by 2 at bats, Justin? Is that what you're saying? Because shit, then you go down in history as 0 for 2. Worst player ever. Come on, man.
So Pat Murphy isn't going down as 0 for 2. Pat Murphy was a bench coach and he was an integral part of all of those Craig Counsell years. So his grading spectrum isn't the same as Craig Counsell's. He's a big reason why we've manifested a lot of stuff that we have. I can't I can't just say that. And you talk about Dave Roberts, right? Because you talk about Dave Roberts. Phil Jackson said it best. Red Auerbach has said it best. John Wooden has said it best. Sometimes managing the egos of those high performing teams is a lot harder than managing a bunch of misfits who are lucky to be there. Hey, I got a Jake Bowers jersey on right now. He's lucky to be here. Alexander Hamilton, shouldn't even be starting for the Milwaukee Brewers. Best bunter in the game. Who else is on this? Andrew Vaughn. Bryce Terang's legit. He'd probably start anywhere. Wild Bill would start anywhere, even in the struggles. But what I'm asking for him to do, and I'm not asking him to sit down Wild Bill for a time, you got to take a day off. You can't pitch. You can't catch right now. When you're in a struggle, he needs to get off his feet because these August wins, they're very important, but they don't mean as much as the October, November wins, is my point.
I get that. But okay, to my last thoughts on the whole Murphy thing. Now that we see what he's done as the manager of the Brewers, now all of a sudden he was an integral part of the Craig Counsell era. And oh yeah, he was hand in hand and side by side with him. After Greg the trader left, everybody wanted Stephen Vogt. Everybody wanted this dude and that dude and this dude and that dude. And you know who they didn't want? Was Pat freaking Murphy. And you know what half the fan base was saying? That the only reason that Mark Adonasio got Pat Murphy is because he was cheap and because he was here. So now all of a sudden, because of the success that he's had, because of the back-to-back manager of the year, now we want to go and do the revisionist history thing and start putting blame on him because of Greg's failures as manager. Shit. That just doesn't make any sense, man. So, that's ridiculous. And then I forgot what else I was going to say because this stuff just doesn't make any sense. The revisionist history is mind boggling. Like I said, I will sit there and I talk a lot of shit. A lot of people say, "Oh, you hate Joey Ortiz." Hell no, I root for everybody's in a Brewers uniform, except with I hated Winker when he was here. And there's a couple Brewers I don't like, and I would love to get rid of, but I won't tell you who they are.
Should
But
we rank that? Should we rank that tonight?
yeah, current Brewers you want to see leave,
No,
but
no, 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 no. We don't want no smoke.
but I hope that I'm wrong on all these dudes, and I'm wrong a lot. Joey Ortiz has proven me wrong lately. Overall, he's proven to be trash, but lately he's been really good. And so, I think, along with everybody who's freaking out because now all of a sudden the Cubs are 4.5 games back and everybody's freaking out doing the same shit they did last year.
Chicago's getting good. They've won some games now.
You know, really, we're going to do the same thing that we've done every freaking year. They are little brother. We beat them. We own them. They're the ones in chase mode. We're the ones leading from the front. So, am I nervous about that stupid team? No, because it's only a 4.5 game lead with 40 low 40s amount of games left here. I'm not freaking out, man. We all know the Brewers are going to make the playoffs. 99% of us know that they're going to win the division. So we still have the best record in freaking baseball. What the hell are we talking about? Just because last night Drone had a shitty game and Senzatella gave up a couple runs. Now we're all freaking out because of the pitching. Come on. The whole thing is crazy. The offense is struggling. The season is a freaking roller coaster. Right now the offense is on the downswing. But you know what happens when you start heading down on a roller coaster? Pretty soon you're going right back up.
Yeah, I appreciate you talking me off of the bridge up here in Rockford, jumping into the Fox River, because I was definitely ready to do it last night. I do think that there are some serious concerns with Pat Murphy, but we'll agree to disagree on them. I just tell you this, when it comes to Murphy or it comes to any of these Milwaukee Brewers, yesterday's prices and today's price, and the prices went up, and the prices went up due to the level of success and to the level of managerial and baseball success they've had. I hope that you're right and I'm wrong about this. I am very concerned about the Chicago Cubs. You mentioned it in your epic rant, and I'm very concerned because I do believe they made the right decisions at the trade deadline versus trying to outsmart professional baseball like we so often do in Milwaukee. A lot of the pitchers that they got are proven. They're the best defensive baseball team right now, and you give them some good pitchers, I mean, I'm a little bit worried. 4.5 games with 40. It doesn't seem. It seems like a whole lot, but there's a lot of head-to-head baseball pipes. So you gotta we gotta show up and play. If we play Milwaukee Brewers baseball, I agree with you. This isn't even a topic of discussion or isn't it a factor. But the problem is, in these last 10 games, we haven't seen Milwaukee Brewers baseball. We've seen Nashville Sounds baseball for a lot of the time. So let's get to tonight real quick before we get up out of here. You got Robert Gasser, 3-4 record, 4.48 ERA, going against Taj Bradley, 9-4, 3.69. I believe he is a Minnesota Twins ace. You feel like we're gonna bounce back off of this crap heap that we're on right now and get a Milwaukee Brewers win, and we can record one of these. You can laugh at me even more, or do you think the skid continues to go downhill as what happens when you hit that little flusher on your toilet?
Yeah, yeah, the skid that has led us all the way to the best record in baseball. Yeah, who knows, man? If the Brewers can hit, the Twins are a pesky ass team, and they don't pitch good, but they're really good at hitting, and they had a couple dudes that weren't in the lineup yesterday, who are badass too, and we saw them score a ton of runs. So hopefully the Brewers bounce back. Is this a must win? Come on, of course not. Would it feel good to win? Yeah, hello, it always does. But this whole thing is a perfect example of how you know that Justin lived in Chicago for a time, because you sound like a Bears fan, Justin. Because who's the Bears' favorite quarterback? Bears fans' favorite quarterback? Always the backup. Okay. And, so now you think that, oh, well, we didn't get screwball. So the Dodgers had a great trade deadline pickup. Oh, the
No.
Cubs had a great trade deadline pickups. Everybody did great at the trade deadline except the team with the best record in baseball. That's the Chicago years in you coming out, man. I think that a lot of people I don't. It's weird because of how long we've dominated the NL Central here lately, and it seems like a lot of Milwaukee fans still have little brother syndrome. Just because you drive a lot and you see on a side view mirror objects in mirror are closer than they appear. When it says in the standings that the Brewers are 4.5 games better than the Cubs, that means that they're 4.5 games better than the Cubs. It doesn't mean that the Cubs are a game back now. Okay, there's still some room to play with, and there's still some time here. Brewers haven't played great baseball, I'd say, in 2 months. I don't think this team has hit their stride and played their best all season yet. So that means that there's still a hell of a lot of room for them to go at. They're probably playing here, and the ceiling is here. So, what are we even talking about? And they're still winning at the best clip out of anybody. So, you know, you freak out if you want. I choose not to give myself any more gray hairs than I already got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Screwball though. Screwball, not with him. We just they made good rules, man. I want to get one thing real quick. We got four coming up with the Cubs in Chicago, three coming up in in the good land. I do want to get your opinion about something real quick before we get out of here. I know I said we were going to go. We're going to rank something real quick. We'll move on from this Cubs stuff. I'm nervous. You're not. I'm a warrior. You're not. So it's probably why I hit my ball in the water a little bit more than you probably would have today, because you probably would have stepped up there and saw no water. Well, I'm like, God darn it. There's water. There's bunkers. There's everything, right? So quick question. Did you see your boy T Dog Tyrone Taylor's comments after being traded to the Chicago Cubs? Tyrone Taylor goes on a rant. We'll call it a rant because it's something ridiculous. He said that he remembered that it being a lot more Cubs fans in Milwaukee when he played there, and he felt like the Cubs were the better organization the entire time. I'm kind of summing up what he said, but that's basically the gist of what Tyrone Taylor's Milwaukee Brewers Colts were after being traded to the Chicago Cubs. What do you think about Tyrone and that?
Honestly, I got no problem with what Tyrone said right there. We all know it's stupid, and we know that it doesn't make any sense. And all you got to do is look at the success of these two teams over the last, 15 years.
Hey, wait, wait.
Grant, what?
Let me give you the official quote. I got the official quote because I don't want to misquote the brother. Because It was fun. I remember it being like away games when I was at home in Milwaukee because there would be so many Cubs fans, and it's definitely cool to be on this side. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and like I said, I've got no problem with him saying it. He's a member of the Cubs right now. So what is he supposed to do? Go there and say, "Oh yeah, my time in Milwaukee was great, and the Cubs. I don't think my time here is going to live up to it." No, he's got to say what he's got to say to sit there and try to get in good with the new squad. We all know it's a load of BS, and that what he said is absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 shows ago, I still rooted for T Bone. I don't anymore. But I always, every time we'd go up against him when once he left town, man, I was always like, well, hey, let us win 10-1 and let that one be a T Bone homer solo shot or something like that. But yeah, I don't root for him anymore. But I'm not going to hold any animosity towards him for saying what he should say and what either one of us would say. If you sit there and work at McDonald's for 20 years and then you go across the street and start a job at Burger King, of course you're going to say, "Oh, this Whopper is so delicious." You're not going to sit there and say, "Oh, I miss my days with the Big Mac."
Yeah, it would be really quite interesting, and let's knock on wood that this never happens. If your words, Mark Tabernacle, if Mark Church become a member of the hated Cubs or Cardinals, what would I have to say? Oh, yikes! Don't even want to think about that. Uh, as far as T Bone, Tyrone Taylor, it's a big Abner crop shot to him. And it's okay. Give me a reason not to root for you. Give me a reason not to root for the Chicago Cubs, as if I don't need 100,000,000 of them. They're the AAA team of the Milwaukee Brewers as far as who's on that roster. A bunch of our castaways, a bunch of our nuggets that wouldn't go down the toilet have floated back up to surface in there. And Tyrone Taylor can join it. I hope that the Chicago Cubs come into Milwaukee and they get their bells rang by us, and you can look back on this and you can say, "Hey, man, you got your blood pressure all out of whack." Our endocrinologist will look on here and watch us and say, "Man, I wonder what Justin's A1C is. He's worrying so much." But yeah, man. Long story short, long-winded answer. Tyrone Taylor, you get the official Abner Urabi, and Uribe. Bang bang. Let's get to what we're gonna wrap right before we get up out of here. Best time in America, I think, going on right now. I think Wisconsin has the best state fair. I might be a little bit biased. Check my elbow. What are your, give me, Pipe, you ain't got to go 1 through 5, any of that crazy stuff. Just give me three things, your top three things you enjoy at Wisconsin State Fair.
Okay, not the biggest fan of the state fair. But okay, three things I like about it. I like the music. I like that there's stages everywhere, bands playing everywhere. I think it's great. Huge live music fan. If it were up to me, I'd be at a concert every single day. Perfect day is waking up, eating a bunch of food, taking a nap, going to a concert, and then watching baseball. So, I love all that stuff. So, yeah, the live music for me is number one. Number two, the food, cheese curds and stuff. You can't beat that. It's just too damn expensive. And then the state fair wouldn't be the state fair without the elite people watching, whether it's chicks with barely any clothes on, the 500
Yes,
pound
please.
fatty who's got
Yes, please.
just a couple strings on, and that's it, just pouring all out of their stuff. The people watching is great, especially if you're sitting there and you start seeing like a boyfriend and a girlfriend or a husband and wife start arguing and stuff. Oh yeah, I love it, man. That stuff, put that in my veins. The people watching there, A1, top notch.
Yeah, yeah, you're so out of pocket. So you know I'm gonna say something off the wall. So number one for me, cream puffs, man. As a diabetic, I'm sure my endocrinologist nails on the chalkboard to her for sure. Number two, fat broads. I love them.
Oh, they're out there in full force.
Let me get the dogs. I can't even finish. Number three would probably be anything deep fried, bro. Shout out to my endocrinologist. I mean, everything from Snickers to catfish to Cheetos to whatever you could possibly get deep fried. There's at our Wisconsin State Fair, man. Good times. If you're out there having a good time there, go see Tim Allen. I think he'll be there tomorrow. Go talk Brewers. And one thing that Sparky mentioned, we don't have people wearing Brewers gear out there. Put your Brewers gear on. We're a first place team. Still have the best record in baseball. Go enjoy the Brewers and leave it up to me to worry, and I'll worry for all you fellow Brewers fans.
Wow, that's the first positive thing you said today, man. That way to end on a high note there, my brother. That's great.
Is there something positive about? Hey, so yeah, we're gonna get out of here tonight. I'm not even gonna get into. We're getting ready to go on and watch our Beloit Sky Carp against the Wisconsin first place Timber Rattlers, man. Excited to see Braylon Payne, see Luis Pena one last time, and some of the other guys we got killing it. Our graduated Carolina Mudcats, aka Wilson Warbirds. Pipe, you got anything else before we get out of here tonight, bro?
Nah, man, enjoy Saturday night, everybody. Party it up. Have a good time. Let's go, crew. And at least with the lineup that's out right now, Yelly's hitting seventh. So the lowest he's hit so far. He got bumped down from 6 last night to 7 tonight.
All right, so I'm about to hammer the Yelly hit line and a Yelly homer line because I think it's coming tonight, man. No pause. Hey, man, like the guru Trey Crosby always tells you, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to watch me and the Pipe Bomb on Cream City Curveball, man. I think we're one of the most fun Brewers podcasts there is out there because we're just going to tell you what we feel. Whether you're wrong a lot of times like Pipe or right like me. He'll say it the other way, but you get it. But that's what we're going to do, man. So this is a Cream City Media Group production. I'm your man Justin down here in North Carolina, aka Roscoe, Illinois right now.
Pipe bomb here in the good land.
It's Cream City Media Group production. I probably already said that, but this is Cream City Curveball. Thanks so much for watching tonight. But most importantly, go Brewers.